Welcome, everybody. My name is Noah Woodward. I'm sharing a teaching out of the Survey of the New Testament. And today, what I'm going to be talking about is the theme of the people of God found in the Bible. It's found all throughout the Old Testament of God's promises. Started with Adam and Eve, and then God promised Abraham that he was going to bless him. He was going to multiply his children, and his children would grow and expand, and then God would bless them, and then they, in turn, if they followed his commandments, they were obedient to him, and they loved him, that he would use them as his people to bless the rest of the world and to as a conduit for his blessings to flow out to the rest of the world. And you can find it continued in the New Testament, and that's what we are going to get into a little bit today. We're going to stick mainly be teaching out of the book of Matthew, um, and there's several kind of key moments here, things that we're going to pull out that reveal Matthew's intention with his writing. A lot of it's tied to a prophetic expectation of what the Israel was expecting, but also what Israel's destiny is and was. We're talking about how Matthew is revealing and showing his audience that Jesus is the true Israel, and what it means to be the people of God. Israel in their day, they thought people of God just meant following the Torah. They thought it meant practicing the law, but they missed a lot of things. And so I just want to run through those as quickly as I can. One keynote that there are several themes in the New Testament and Old Testament of people of God, covenant, temple, the theme of kingdom, and others. And it's really hard to just talk about one because they really all tie together. But I want to run through this theme of people of God the best I can in the time I have. And so let's get going. So, so there's four key moments, places in Scripture that are in Matthew that really speak to this theme, people of God. And one is the Exodus. Matthew highlights some things in some of the very first chapters about the deportation to Babylon, um, and baptism when Jesus was baptized, the testing in the wilderness, and the 12 apostles. A lot of these things um, signify and represent Israel during Jesus' time. Jesus kind of follows the timeline and some major events in Israel, and one of those is Exodus. In Matthew 2:15, he says, "Out of Egypt I called my son." So it's just calling back the time that Israel came out of Egypt, and he's putting this in context of Jesus' life. Matthew 2:11, 12, and 17 mentions the deportation to Babylon like four different times. And so Matthew is just bringing out this idea of there's a new Exodus coming to the people of Israel. Baptism, Jesus in Matthew 3 is baptized in the Jordan River just as Israel was symbolically baptized through the Red Sea after they came out of Egypt. And then the testing in the wilderness. It's interesting that in Matthew 4, after Jesus is baptized and after the people of Israel go through the waters, they go into the wilderness and they are tested. But the interesting thing is that the Israel failed time and time again, but Jesus goes in their place as a true Israel, and he succeeds. He passed the test in the wilderness for Israel. And then the 12 apostles, Jesus chooses 12 apostles, and it's representative of the 12 tribes of Israel. And so what Matthew is bringing out is this prophetic expectation of Jesus as the true Israel. Israel, time and time again, they had a covenant with God, and time again, they failed to keep that covenant. They failed to fulfill their destiny as the people of Israel. And what Matthew is bringing out in Jesus' life is that he fulfills the prophetic expectation of Israel. He goes through several key moments, and Matthew highlights the fact that Jesus does the same thing as Israel, but he fulfills them. He completes the destiny, even though Israel failed, and um, thus he redefines what it means to be a people of God. It's no longer an ethnic uh, thing. It is now based on being able to do the works of God. And what does Jesus say the works of God are? To believe in him. And so Matthew's bringing out this thing of like Jesus replaces Israel, and he fulfills what Israel couldn't do. He becomes a man, does what they couldn't do, um, fulfills our side of the covenant between us and God. He redefines what it means to be the people of God, and now God's blessings can flow through his people, through those who believe in Jesus Christ. I know that was a real quick, down and dirty explanation. I hope you were able to get something from that real quick teaching, as I have. But I appreciate you for sticking around, and I'll catch you in the next one.